August 28, 2013. You need to hear this if you're a parent. A seemingly ordinary summer evening in Aurora, Colorado. Beneath the facade of normalcy, a storm brewed. Inside a quiet suburban home, a tragedy was about to unfold, a chilling tale of madness and matricide. This is the story of Isabella Guzman, a teenager who committed an unthinkable act, forever etching her name in the annals of true crime. It's the kind of case that makes you question everything. What drives a child to harm their own parent? How could such darkness fester within someone so young? The answers, as we'll soon discover, are far more complex than they appear. Isabella Guzman was once a typical child described by those who knew her as bright and bubbly. But beneath the surface, a darkness was beginning to take root. Her parents' relationship was tumultuous, marked by frequent arguments and eventual separation. Isabella, caught in the middle, witnessed the breakdown of their family. As Isabella grew older, her behavior became increasingly erratic. She clashed with her mother, Yun-Mi Hoi, their relationship strained by years of simmering resentment. Isabella's once bright demeanor grew dark, her laughter replaced by anger and defiance. Concerned for her daughter's well-being, Yun-Mi sought help, unaware of the chilling fate that awaited her. In the days leading up to the tragedy, tensions reached a fever pitch. Arguments between Isabella and her mother intensified, escalating from harsh words to physical altercations. Yun-Mi, fearing for her safety, contacted the police, desperate for a way to de-escalate the situation. Little did she know, time was running out. On that fateful August evening, Yun-Mi returned home from work, unaware that it would be her last. As she stepped through the door, a sense of unease hung in the air. The house was eerily quiet, the silence a harbinger of the horror that was about to unfold. Upstairs, Isabella waited. Consumed by a rage she could no longer control, her mind spiraled further into madness, a darkness she couldn't escape. Armed with a knife and a baseball bat, she lay in wait for her mother, her anger festering with each passing moment, growing more intense. Yun-Mi, oblivious to the danger lurking above, went about her evening routine. She climbed the stairs, her footsteps echoing in the stillness, each step drawing her closer to her terrifying fate. As she reached the top of the stairs, Isabella made her move, the moment of confrontation finally arriving. Section 5. Blood and Insanity. What happened next would forever be seared into the memories of those who witnessed the horrifying aftermath. A blood-curdling scream pierced the quiet suburban night, shattering the peace. Ryan Hoi, Isabella's stepfather, rushed from his study, drawn by the sound of his wife's terror and panic. He found the bathroom door locked, blood seeping ominously from beneath it. Frantically, he called 911, his voice trembling with fear and adrenaline. As he spoke, he heard a chilling sound, his wife's last words, "Jehovah." Then only silence. Section 6. The Trial of Isabella Guzman. Isabella Guzman was apprehended the following day, her clothes stained with her mother's blood. The arrest was swift, a culmination of a nightmarish sequence of events that left the community in shock and disbelief. The once vibrant teenager was now a shell, her eyes vacant, her face etched with a chilling detachment. Friends and family who once knew her as a lively and spirited young woman could hardly recognize the person she had become. The transformation was as tragic as it was terrifying. The trial that followed captivated the nation, a gruesome spectacle that laid bare the depths of her madness. Media outlets swarmed the courthouse, and the public followed every twist and turn with morbid fascination. The courtroom became a stage where the darkest aspects of human nature were put on display. Her behavior in court was erratic, her demeanor fluctuating between moments of lucidity and outbursts of unhinged rage. At times, she seemed to understand the gravity of her situation, while at others, she appeared completely disconnected from reality, adding to the tension and drama of the proceedings. She smirked, she giggled, she stared blankly into the distance, seemingly oblivious to the gravity of her crimes. These unsettling displays of emotion, or lack thereof, left the courtroom in a state of unease, as observers struggled to comprehend the true nature of her mental state. Her lawyers, faced with the seemingly insurmountable task of defending the indefensible, entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. They argued that Isabella was not in control of her actions, that her mind was a fractured landscape of torment and confusion. The defense team worked tirelessly, sifting through legal documents and consulting with mental health experts, hoping to build a case that could save her from a lifetime behind bars. Section 7. A Mind Adrift. The prosecution presented a compelling case, detailing the brutality of the murder and the premeditation involved. They argued that Isabella's actions were a calculated act of revenge, fueled by years of resentment towards her mother. However, the defense argued that Isabella was not in control of her actions on that fateful night. They presented evidence of her deteriorating mental state, her history of delusions and hallucinations. A psychiatrist testified that Isabella suffered from schizophrenia, a severe mental illness that robbed her of her ability to distinguish right from wrong. Section 8. The Isabella Paradox. The jury was left to grapple with a seemingly impossible task, to reconcile the horrific nature of Isabella's crime with the possibility that she was not fully responsible for her actions. The weight of their decision was palpable, as they had to consider not just the evidence presented, but also the broader implications of their verdict. The trial, with its gruesome details and unsettling imagery, sparked a national conversation about mental illness, criminal responsibility, and the very nature of evil. News outlets and social media were abuzz with debates, as experts weighed in on the complexities of the case. Was Isabella a cold-blooded killer, or a victim of her own mind? The case of Isabella Guzman presented a chilling paradox, a young woman capable of unspeakable violence yet seemingly lost in the throes of a debilitating mental illness. Her story became a symbol of the fine line between sanity and madness, and the unpredictable nature of the human mind. It forced society to confront uncomfortable questions about our understanding of mental health, the limits of compassion, and the enduring power of the human psyche. How do we balance justice with empathy? Can we ever truly understand the depths of another person's suffering? The Isabella Paradox remains a haunting reminder of these unresolved dilemmas, challenging us to look deeper into the human condition. Section 9. A Glimmer of Hope. In the end, the jury found Isabella Guzman not guilty by reason of insanity. This verdict was reached after a lengthy and highly publicized trial that captivated the nation. The defense argued that Isabella was suffering from severe mental illness at the time of the crime, rendering her incapable of understanding the nature of her actions. She was committed to the Colorado Mental Health Institute in Pueblo, where she remains to this day. The facility is known for its stringent security measures and comprehensive mental health treatment programs, aimed at rehabilitating individuals who have committed crimes under the influence of severe mental disorders. Her story, however, did not end there. The courtroom drama and the subsequent media frenzy ensured that Isabella's case would remain in the public eye for years to come. In a bizarre twist of fate, Isabella Guzman would find a new kind of notoriety, her infamy reaching far beyond the confines of the courtroom. The media coverage of her trial and the shocking details of her crime turned her into a figure of morbid fascination. Years after her trial, footage of Isabella's erratic behavior in court resurfaced on the internet. This footage, showing her unpredictable and unsettling actions, quickly went viral, reigniting public interest in her case. Shared and reshared on social media platforms, her story found a new audience, one captivated by the macabre details of her crime and the unsettling disconnect between her youthful appearance and the horrific acts she committed. The internet buzz surrounding her case highlighted the complex interplay between mental illness, crime, and public perception, making Isabella Guzman a subject of endless debate and speculation. Section 10. The Weight of Infamy. Isabella Guzman, the girl who once wanted to be a veterinarian, became an unlikely internet sensation. Memes were created, Fan pages were established, and her image was plastered across the internet, her story reduced to a series of sensationalized headlines and viral videos. The ethics of this newfound fame are debatable, to say the least. Some argue that it trivializes the gravity of her crime and exploits the memory of her victim. Others see it as a morbid fascination with the dark side of human nature, a reflection of our society's insatiable appetite for true crime stories. Section 11. Unanswered Questions. The story of Isabella Guzman is a tragedy on many levels. It is a stark reminder of the devastating power of mental illness, the complexities of the criminal justice system, and the often unpredictable nature of human behavior. Even today, years after that fateful night in Aurora, questions linger. What truly drove Isabella Guzman to commit such a horrific act? Was justice served? And what does her story say about our own fascination with the dark side of humanity? These are questions that will likely remain unanswered, haunting reminders of the case that shocked a nation and continues to fascinate and disturb us to this day. If you found this story compelling, please subscribe to our channel and like this video for more true crime stories.